you spent many years, a formative part of your career, working for and with Republicans. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, because I'm trying to look forward now, the specifics of what happens tonight or tomorrow in the next few days, we can't say right now. We think we know what's going to happen. But let's look farther forward. What does the Republican Party do now? Because there are a lot of people like myself. I'll be honest with you. I say this, I must have said this a million times. I don't get as angry at Donald Trump because I look at him as, I think a lot of people would agree, a malignant narcissist was the term which is used a lot. Mm-hmm. He's someone who has a condition, probably needs to be treated. The people I reserve my true anger for are the enablers within the Republican Party who have just gone along. And they've all been in lockstep. And I'm sort of a history buff. I'm hard-pressed to think of another president that had the total zombie-like control of his party like Donald Trump. No one breaks ranks. They're all terrified of him. So what happens? How does the Republican Party move forward from this point, or do they not? Is it going to be still Trump's party?
Look, this is my private pain usually. I mean, this party that justifiably gave the Bush family, and you and I have talked about this before, who I worked for, such a hard time, never hesitated to criticize and attack them. And that was healthy. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying I know the Republican Party is capable of saying screw you to a Republican president because I saw it. To see them be so subservient in the face of a man who doesn't believe in anything they believe in. And you can argue that the base of the party's more where Trump is on foreign policy and trade. That might be true, but the Republican elected officials are not. They believe the stuff that former Republicans and former Republican nominees used to believe in. So to have sort of capitulated on their own ideology and then to have capitulated on their own souls is, to me, the most dangerous dynamic in the era of Trump. Because what's happening right now is that people around Trump are saying it's over. It's not clear to me that anyone has walked in and told him that. He may have figured it out because he's an incessant consumer of cable news. And I think even on Fox News, while some of the folks in the evenings, they're cheering these really sort of illogical and non-legally formed lawsuits. I mean, in one state, they want the vote to keep going. In another, they want it to stop. In another, they want ballots stuck in. I mean, they don't want one thing across the country. So the fact that so many people allow him to really desecrate the presidency is, to me, the irreparable piece of his tenure, which looks like it'll only be 4 years. But I don't think there is something on the other side. It's how do you build that back? If you're subservient,
you mean not something on the other side for the Republicans? Because that's my curiosity is
for these Republicans,
right? If you're, and I have friends, people I went to college with, who we didn't agree on. They're smart, they're very intelligent, well-read people who really love their country, who we didn't always see eye to eye because they would vote Republican, I would vote Democrat, but we would have long conversations and we shared a lot of values. And now I think we've gotten to the point where those people, those friends of mine, have wanted no part of Trump or Trumpism. Yeah. So you wonder, how does the Republican Party, how does it encapsulate, or how can it be big enough, a big tent that holds reasonable people and people that believe in their hearts that Joe Biden is a pedophile and drinks the blood of children in satanic rituals? How do you do that? I don't know that there's a party there.
Well, look, I mean, that's a QAnon conspiracy. Yeah. I didn't know what QAnon was until very recently. I mispronounced them. I saw them in my teleprompter and called them like Quanon.
Quanon.
Yeah. Like Quaalude. Look, I don't think it's oil and water, right? QAnon is a toxin. And I don't think you can say like, oh, I'll just swim with them.
Yeah.
So they are mutually exclusive. And what the party has become doesn't have room for reasonable people. I think the smart line of questioning that you're pursuing is at this point unknowable, because I think that winning campaigns always overread their mandate, and Senate Republicans will think they won this because they didn't lose as many seats as they thought. And even if Donald Trump is rejected, I think they will misread what might have been a lot of anxiety about shutdowns and about maybe I think Republicans have been conditioned to believe that shutdowns and lockdowns and public health safety measures are against the interests of our economic security. And I think that is not what Joe Biden has been saying, but I think that's where that sort of toxic mix of disinformation and misinformation and painting all Democrats as socialists will make it difficult for him to lead the whole country, because I think half the country truly thinks he wants to shut people down and leave them in their homes. That is not even the public health approach. But I think that until you have a party that understands that dynamic, worried about the economy, worried about the shutdowns, had more to do with Republicans looking healthier on Tuesday night in some of these Senate races than even a lot of Republicans thought they might, than any sort of mandate for Trump or Trumpism or what they're doing. I think they will continue down this path. And I think flirting with QAnon and playing footsie with white supremacists is a dead end road. It's a cul-de-sac. There is no what's the GOP on the other side. It has to, sort of collapse, and it might in the next cycle, the cycle after that. And then, maybe something thoughtful comes up on the other side. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we have this sort of corrupt half of the political machinery, and maybe that's what Democrats have to figure out how to contend with. I don't see clearly what the future is for the two-party system.